there! Welcome to my very first MBA vlog. My name is Krissy. I'm originally from Texas, but I currently live in Los Angeles, and I am a Berkeley Haas MBA executive for the class of 2025. When I was applying to MBA programs, I found a few vloggers on YouTube that were sharing their experiences, but none of them were specifically in the program that I was interested in. Some of them were going to other schools, some of them were in different programs like the full-time program or a part-time evening weekend program. I didn't really see too many folks documenting the executive MBA program. As a film major who ended up in a business program, I thought it would be fun to make some vlogs, capturing my experience and hopefully helping you guys see what an MBA looks like. Also, I know that these 2 years are going to fly by, and I'm going to be so happy to have these videos to look back on and to remember all of these beautiful moments with my cohort. So let's break down the structure. So this is a 2-year program that is broken out into 5 terms. Through those 5 terms, you're roughly going to class about once a month. We arrive usually on a Wednesday, have class all day Thursday, Friday, mostly Saturday, and then for those of us like myself who live out of town, we'll fly back either Saturday evening or on Sunday. We're getting the same degree as the other programs, but the difference is that we're all working full-time as well as doing this program. I'd say the main difference between a full-time program, an evening weekend program, and the executive program is really just the average amount of years of work experience that our classmates have. But I could get into this more in detail, but I'll probably save that for another video. For now, I just want to show you what it looked like for our very first block. Because we didn't have class on Wednesday, I had some time to get settled in, and the first thing I wanted to do was to go get a Berkeley sweatshirt. A couple people in my cohort who were there early had some time as well, so we went and got a delicious tea at this Taiwanese shop called Yifeng. And then after that, I headed over to Haas because they were having a really big event for the anniversary. There was little snacks and drinks, and it was a really great opportunity to meet other people in the other programs because most of the time we don't get as much crossover as I would like. After the anniversary celebration, a group of us from my cohort headed over to a restaurant to grab some dinner, and after that pretty much called it a night. Wanted to be able to wake up bright and early for our first day of class on Thursday. Our classes start at 8:30 in the morning, so I got up around 7, had breakfast at the hotel, and then headed over to Haas. It's a really beautiful walk up to the campus. One great thing about the program is that they provide snacks for us. Since we are basically in back-to-back classes, we have little snacks waiting in case we get hungry. This day we had fruit. Our first class that day was Data and Decisions, which is a statistics course. Each of the classes that we're taking are 3 hours long. So after the 3 hours, we had the program office come in and they did some announcements. Then we headed over to the place where we'd be having lunch, but because it was our very first block, we got to get our ID cards, a pass that we can use on the transit in the area, and we got some hoodies. Then it was time to eat. I've really been enjoying the variety of the food that they offer for us. After lunch, it was back to class. This time we had financial accounting. Again, another 3-hour class. I know 3 hours sounds long, but our professors usually give us breaks in between so we can grab a snack or use the bathroom, and it usually goes by pretty fast. After accounting, we had a special class called Teams at Haas. This is where they told us who our study group was going to be. So everyone is assigned into a study group, and this is who you will work with for your team assignments for the first 3 terms. It's really important that you guys know how to work together and how to have your goals aligned and your expectations aligned. I mean, very similar to what you would find working in a team environment at the office. After that, we were done for the day and we headed back to the hotel. But then there was more events to do. So we have a couple of our people in the cohort that have volunteered to get dinner for us, which is fantastic because after you've come out of a long day of 9 hours of classes, it's hard to make decisions and to figure out what you want to eat for dinner. Basically, we repeated the same thing, woke up early, had breakfast at the hotel, then headed up to Haas. We had our 3 classes that day, similar structure where we had class and then lunch with breaks in between, then back to class. I really enjoyed lunch this day because we got to eat in the speaker forum, which is this really beautiful room at the top of the building that we're in, which has a really gorgeous view of the bay. We had one other class in the afternoon that day, which was called Trust-Based Relationships. Our last class of the day was our economics class, and then we headed back to the hotel. This night, I decided to head up to the study hall, which is the name of the restaurant/bar at the top of the hotel that we're staying at. It's pretty great because it also has a beautiful view, and it's right there in our hotel. So if you're exhausted, you don't even have to leave. The next day, I woke up early because it was Saturday, the last day of class for this block, and I would be heading back to LA that evening. So I needed to pack all my stuff. I had breakfast at the hotel, but this day I needed something a little bit extra to help me get through because it had been a long week. So a few of us headed over to Starbucks and grabbed a little drinky drink, then headed to class. In the morning, we had data and decisions again, and this day was actually my birthday, so some of my classmates knew that and decided to sing me happy birthday, which was a really sweet surprise. You know, there's nothing like studying stats on your birthday. After that, we had lunch again. I was so happy that we were in speaker forum because, again, this view is just, I never get sick of this view. There happened to be a football game going on that day, and the stadium is really close to Haas, so we kept seeing all of these people walking to the game while we were in class. In the afternoon, we had economics and accounting, but to be honest, it was a bit of a blur because at that point we were just so exhausted, had some great snacks in between, but at the very end, we did it. We finished our very first block. And to celebrate that, one of our cohort members very kindly offered to host a celebratory start of the term party at her house. She had prepared all of this amazing food and drinks for us, and it was such a lovely time. I was only bummed because I had to catch my flight, so I didn't get to stay as long as I wanted. My classmates are so sweet. They had prepared cakes, multiple cakes, for those of us who had celebrated birthdays recently. They even had a piñata, which was amazing, but that happened after I'd already left to the airport, so I was bummed about that. And then I basically packed a little slice of cake and had to head back to the airport. Overall, I had such a fun time this blog. I can't wait to come back. I know it's gonna fly by and we'll be here again soon. But until then, see you next time.